Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title of this video, I am pregnant and I am so excited to finally announce it. This is going to be my first pregnancy update. I have so much to share with you. This pregnancy has been so different than all the rest. I did just have my ultrasound last week or the week before, my dating ultrasound, and I am just under 3 months. So I am going to be just kind of going through how I felt so far, and then hopefully from here on out I will be doing either like a bi-monthly or a monthly update going forward. So the bump date and how things are going, what I'm doing in terms of my health for this pregnancy, and so much more. So I am really excited to dive in and just finally let you guys know the news. I will show my little bump at the end of this video. I just can't believe I'm back here. I feel like it's been so long since I've done these pregnancy updates and all of this baby stuff. For those of you who are new, I am currently a mom of 3, so I have 3 kids. I have a almost 8-year-old, an almost 6-year-old in a couple weeks, and then a almost 5-year-old. So 8, 6, and 5. They're all winter babies, so they're all getting these birthdays within the next couple weeks. And I was like, you know what, it's time. We had a nice gap from my youngest, my daughter Lily, to this pregnancy. If you are new to my channel, I did have a miscarriage about a year ago. So that happened when my daughter was like 3.5, 4. And then I just got pregnant again, and things have been going really well. So I have lots to share, like I said. I know a lot of you are gonna be asking if it's a surprise baby, because you guys always ask that. This one was definitely planned. After my daughter Lily, I had 3 kids under 3 years, and I was so done. I was exhausted. I had a lot of health complications, different autoimmune diseases and things that I just needed to get hold on. And so I was like, you know what, I'm done with kids for now. I need to just focus on my health. And we decided to have a pretty big break just to, you know, get me back to at least a state of feeling semi-good. But then over the past couple months, we just felt like it was time. And I knew it was time because for so long I had this feeling, after I had my 3 kids under 3 years, I had almost like this without being dramatic, PTSD feeling where the thought of having another one gave me so much anxiety, and I would get really stressed or depressed. So I knew, okay, I'm not ready, it's not the time. But then just something happened, and over the past couple months, I just started getting really excited about the idea of having another one. And I'm excited now because I've never had a pregnancy where I haven't had to, like, you know, be taking care of other kids. My very first pregnancy ever with my first child, I was in school and university full-time in a really heavy program. And then after that, you know, my second, my third kids, I've already had babies, you know, to take care of. So I was always kind of going crazy through my pregnancies. This time around is a lot different because I have been able to actually rest a lot more. My kids, my youngest is almost 5, so it's a little bit easier. I mean, they're still crazy, but if I tell them I need to have a nap, they will, you know, kind of go down and play with their toys and let me have that time. My husband is working from home as well, so I have a lot more help, whereas before he was working out of the home. So it's such a different dynamic now. Just being able to have everybody here at home. I do homeschool, so it's nice having my husband here with that. And again, I just feel like it's a lot different this time around, and I'm able to just rest a lot more. So this pregnancy has been really nice, and I almost feel like it's my first because my kids are a little bit older. They're, again, like, they're not demanding my attention 24/7. So I'm just putting like all my attention and all of that into this pregnancy, and it's been beautiful so far. Now, in terms of how I'm feeling, it's definitely a million times better than my other ones. So again, if you guys are OGs here, you know all about my severe morning sickness. Pretty much couldn't keep anything down in my previous pregnancies. I would throw up at least 11 times a day. Usually lost about 11 pounds within like the first couple weeks. I always just couldn't eat, so I would just lose a lot of weight. Very, very bad pregnancies. This time around, I am very nauseous, and I have major food aversions and aversions to smells, but my actual like vomiting is really good. I've only actually thrown up multiple times. So, you know, maybe a couple times a week rather than several times a day. So it's been so much better. The hardest thing for me right now is actually just one, driving. As soon as we get in the car, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. Even if I haven't eaten, or if I have, even if we're driving really nice and slow, as soon as I'm in a moving vehicle, I feel horrible. Another thing that's really hard for me right now are smells. So as an example, garlic, tomato, meat. I can eat them no problem without feeling nauseous, but to smell them, I will go and puke. So it's been hard to cook. My husband's been helping, and we've been doing also a lot of takeout and things like that, which isn't ideal, but I've been doing my best in that department. I've been able to eat a little bit healthier this pregnancy. Always at the start of my pregnancies, I eat what I can keep down, and it's typically carbs and things that are not really nutritionally dense. Now, it's kind of still the same. I have a really hard time keeping things down, like smoothies and that kind of stuff. So I haven't been having my healthy superfood smoothies and things like that in the morning, which I normally would like to do. But what I have been able to do is have a lot of salads and things, which I wasn't able to do in my other pregnancies. So overall, I feel like I'm eating a lot better this time around. And my cravings aren't as intense. The only cravings I have been having is for fruit. And I really like salty things. So chips, the typical pickles, things like that I find really help to curb my nausea. So eating wise, things have been going well. And again, for those of you who are new here, I am a homeopath and nutritionist. So I do have my own business. I am still working right now, and I plan to work right up until I give birth, and then I'm hoping to take several months off, obviously, to kind of have like a mini maternity leave and just heal and spend time with the baby. But I am still working right now. That's something that's really hard for me, is I'll be sitting on the phone and I'll be talking to my clients, and I'm like, you need to be eating more vegetables, you need more fiber, you need this and that, and then I'm sitting here with like a bag of popcorn because that's all I can keep down. So definitely been feeling very frustrated with diet overall, because again, I am trying my best to eat as good as I can, but it's been a lot of takeout, and yeah, just doing what I can right now. Always by like halfway through the pregnancy, my nausea starts to calm down a little, and I get a little bit better with my food, and so I know by then I'll be able to really turn things around and eat a lot cleaner. So I'm not too stressed. I am currently, in terms of supplements, I'm sorry, I should have brought them here to show you the bottles, but sorry, getting tongue-tied. I'm on a prenatal right now. So I'm doing the MTHFR friendly prenatal. It's from Pure Encapsulations. It's called, I think it's prenatal nutrients, and it has folate instead of folic acid in it. It's got retinol, like vitamin A instead of beta carotene, so it's just easy to absorb, and it's working really well for me. Now, I am going to be switching to a food-based multivitamin. I always do this in the beginning of my pregnancy. I have a really hard time keeping anything down, so I take just like a standard prenatal, but then once my nausea calms down, I do always like to switch to a Whole Foods one. So there's a company, it's called Whole Earth, and their prenatal has everything that you need, but it's from food, like fruit and vegetable sources. It's really nice, and I find that I can always keep it down better halfway through my pregnancy, and so I do like to make that switch, just so you're getting more antioxidants and things in. But I am on a prenatal, and I'm not taking folic acid or anything on the side. I've learned through, you know, my schooling and all of that, that if you have MTHFR, which is a genetic SNP that I do have, a lot of people have it, you don't want to be doing folic acid because your body can't convert it into folate, and it becomes really toxic in the system. Anyway, I was doing that in my previous pregnancies, where I was doing a lot of folic acid, and I had horrible side effects, and at the time I didn't realize it was from the folic acid. So anyway, this time around, I'm not doing folic acid, I'm doing folate, but it's all in my multivitamin. I'm actually not taking any extra. I am, however, getting a lot of folate in through diet, so I know that I'm okay in that area, and so far everything looks really good. I am also doing a probiotic, so always during my pregnancies I get on one, a really high potency one. So I'm currently doing Genestra HMF Multistrain 100. In my next pregnancy update, I'll make sure I bring the supplements to show you. Probiotics will help, you know, support my body. I would always get like yeast infections, and I also always tested positive for group B strep in my earlier pregnancies. With my daughter, who was my second last pregnancy before this one, I got on a probiotic and I never had yeast infections, and I tested negative for group B strep. So I know that they really make a huge difference. So what I've been doing is the probiotic to really help support my health, and it also does pass to baby and inoculates baby as well. But then on top of that, I've been also doing a vaginal probiotic suppository as well. Not all the time. I do it maybe like once every couple weeks, just to keep like my microflora in balance. Now that I'm pregnant and really nauseous, I'm obviously eating a lot more carbs and starch, which obviously can trigger yeast infections. So just trying to keep all the pathogens at bay and everything balanced. So that's what I'm doing for supplements. I am also doing collagen. I've done that every day, pregnant or not, but especially during my pregnancies, to help build healthy bones and skin and all of that for baby and for myself. I find that it really helps keep my skin nice and you know, kind of prevent some hair thinning and things like that. Last but not least, I'm on a cod liver oil as well. So the omegas really help me. They keep my skin inflammation down. They're great for stretch marks. There's lots of studies that show that they really hydrate the skin and build that elasticity along with the collagen. So that way you can minimize stretch marks. I got horrible amount of stretch marks for my very first pregnancy. I wasn't drinking enough water and I didn't know about the omegas and the collagen. My stretch marks were brutal, but after I started learning about how you have to really stay hydrated and make sure your skin's hydrated during pregnancy, I started doing that with my other son and my daughter, and I've had no stretch marks ever again. So I'm hoping that this pregnancy will be the same. I can keep those stretch marks at bay. So those are supplement wise. Now in general, how things are going. So that was the majority of the updates. There's some things that we're working on right now. So we currently are looking for a bigger vehicle. Obviously we need something that is more than 5 seats. We currently have a 5-seater. So we're looking at like a 7-seater, and that's been a challenge because at least where we live in our area, it's slim pickings right now. There's nothing out there available. There's a lot of shortages. So it's definitely been something that's been stressing me out, knowing that we do need a larger vehicle. Now, I know a lot of you are going to be asking, what am I doing in terms of healthcare? So I'm definitely with midwives. Just to give you a little backstory, again, for those who are new, my first pregnancy, I was with an OBG in the hospital for my delivery. I made a whole video on OBG versus midwives, home birth versus hospital birth, night and day difference. You guys can check out that video, but I was with an OBG, my first one, had a horrible experience. So then I switched to midwives. My mom encouraged me because she did midwives for, you know, all her births, and I switched to midwives, but at the hospital. So I still had a hospital birth with my second, but the midwives were there and it was so much better. So then I went and took the leap with my third, and I did midwives at home. So I had a home birth with my last delivery, and oh my goodness, there was no going back for me. This time around, I am hoping and praying that I have a healthy and safe pregnancy so I can have a home birth again. Because once I had the baby at home, I was like, I can never go back to a hospital, to that, you know, just really busy, chaotic setting. You feel uncomfortable, you're not in your own place with your own showers, and there's a lot of people coming in and out. There was just so many amazing things to have, you know, reasons to have the baby at home, and it went well with my daughter. So again, I'm hoping I can do that this time. So I am with midwives regardless and aiming for a home birth. And I'm excited to see how that goes because it went really well the last time around. In terms of like how everything went with midwives versus nurses or doctors. I found it really chaotic at the hospital and just overwhelming, whereas here it was very laid back, and I had, you know, diffusers running, calm music, I had my bathtub, and it was just really nice. So that's what we're doing for healthcare. I have not had a midwife appointment yet. I'm actually having one in 3 weeks. I've been really chill this pregnancy in terms of what I'm looking for. So with my other kids, sorry, there's an eyelash in my eye. With my other pregnancies, my other kids, I wanted appointments all the time. I wanted to make sure everything's going well. I wanted to have ultrasounds, see what's happening. This time around, they're like, when do you want to come in for an appointment? And I'm like, just push it away. The longest I can go without one, let's do that. Because I'm so busy, I work full time, I've got the kids, I'm homeschooling. I don't have so much time to just leave the house and go do an appointment. So, and with COVID and everything, it's just a lot. So I'm like, let's just delay it. So I've actually only had the one ultrasound, sorry. So like I said, I had my ultrasound a couple weeks ago. That was my first appointment for anything. I haven't had blood work or anything else done. Next pregnancy update, I'll have more to report because I will have gone you know, to the midwives already. Now, in terms of weight gain, so I actually, this pregnancy is very different as well, where my other ones, many years ago now, I was on a scale all the time. I was obsessing about my weight, obsessing about my weight gain, making sure, you know, I wasn't gaining weight. Now, I work out quite a bit and I do weightlifting and I put on muscle because of that. And I know now, I weigh more now than I've ever have weighed with my other pregnancies, but I'm a lot thinner, or leaner at least. So it's mostly muscle mass, which weighs more than fat. And in the past, I would have been freaking out if I had gained muscle, thinking that I was just gaining pounds. So I'm like, I'm not, this pregnancy, I don't even own a scale. I haven't been on one. I don't know my starting weight. I truly have no idea. But I know that I've lost weight so far. So I do have a bit of a bump that's grown a little bit. It's starting to stick out, but in general, I've lost weight because I've had so many food aversions. I've been eating less. Like normally I'd eat 3 big meals and a couple snacks throughout the day. I might eat 1 normal meal and then a couple tiny snacks currently. I know that will change and I'll put on a lot more weight, but I always find in the beginning of my pregnancies, I lose a little bit just with the aversions and the nausea. So I don't have a weight for you. I know the midwives will weigh me when I go, and then they'll keep track of my weight in future appointments. So I'll probably have a weight for you guys in the next video, but yeah, I don't know what I'm starting out at. I am still wearing my normal clothes. I'm not really wearing maternity yet, but I do find that I'm starting to get uncomfortable in like jeans. They fit no problem still, but if I like wear jeans and then I'm sitting down and eating, and the button will start to kind of push into my stomach and I'll feel a bit uncomfortable. I do have, I feel like there's like a ball in my stomach right now, so I can definitely feel things expanding and it's getting more uncomfortable to lay on my stomach because it puts pressure. So definitely feel things moving and expanding. I've ordered in some maternity clothes, which I will have for when I need them, but been kind of just wearing my own clothes right now. We're home almost all the time, so my favorite attire is sweatpants and a tank top or something, just something that's comfortable. So it's been working out well. But I think that's it for updates. I hope I didn't miss anything. If I did, comment your questions down below and I'm happy to answer them. This is gonna be exciting because it's my 4th child, which is crazy. We are hoping for a girl. Obviously we'll be happy with anything, but I am really, really hoping it's a girl because I have 2 boys and 1 daughter, and my daughter's like really begging for a sister. I've always wanted 4 kids, and I love the idea of having 2 boys and 2 girls so that they each have a friend. I grew up with a lot of sisters and I cannot imagine my life without sisters, so I'm really wanting that for her. So we will see. We're having our dating ultrasound on February 25th, I believe is the date. So we will definitely do a little gender reveal something here. But I'm really excited to see what we're having. And again, I'm hoping it's a girl. So let's pray for a girl. And I will share all my other updates with you in another video. I'm happy to be back on YouTube, and I will be here more present now because I love documenting my pregnancies for me to look back on as well. So I'm gonna show you guys the bump, and that's about it. I hope you guys have the most beautiful new year. I hope it brings you lots of joy, lots of blessings, and I will be talking to you all soon. Bye. Okay, so it's hard to see, but here is the bump. It's not too much right now. Bump from the front, the bump from the other side. It's hard to see in this black dress. And bump from the other side. And the back, nothing to see yet. That's it.